Oh, hey, Golden Seed. Hello, Seed Man. How is the Seed Man doing? All right, let me actually see if anybody submitted questions. Nope, nothing. No one this time. Okay. So be it, so be it. I'll wait for a few minutes for people to come in, and then depending on audience size and what people ask for questions, we'll go from there. Dang, is it really not working? What? No, what's going on? I, I gave it permission. Reload. Once you save the permissions, head back to the dashboard, click reload data. Oh. There we go. Okay, it's working now. I just forgot a step. Okay. Hi. Yeah, Wizard, looks like it worked. I missed a step, but I just fixed it, so it should be good now. I forgot you're doing these thingies again. Well, you're here now, Nemesis, so I don't actually have any questions that people submitted. So it's all whatever you guys want. Otherwise, I have stuff I can just like freely chat about. Oh, I'm also a little off center. You forgot today is the day too? Well, I could probably do things like remind people more often, but I figure I'm not like doing this super seriously. This is more for my own amusement and fun. That's right. I do coaching for free and for fun. Stuff that I normally charge people. The stuff that I charge people for, like it's usually more intense and more personal. And usually people like, I mean, they pay me money before it. But here, when I'm just talking to a bunch of people on the internet, it's a little different, a bit more chill. But yeah, you guys can ask your questions. Go ahead if you have any curiosities. Otherwise, like one topic I have is related to just kind of like the healthier way of dealing with bombshell stuff in relationships and how generally the way that people react on during those bombshell moments usually can give me a lot of insight as to the problems of a relationship. Even, and I have like a movie, an old movie, Kramer versus Kramer, which came out 45 plus years ago, or 40 years, at least 40 years ago. But I think it's very telling in regards to just one of the ways that people can respond. Then there's that, and then maybe I'll talk about misandry versus misogyny. That's another thing. So those are like two big things that I kind of have on my mind, which I'm like totally open to chat about, and how I kind of navigate that both personally and professionally. But yeah, other than that, this is, I can chat about that and I like easily. But if you want specific help with something, now's the time to like go ahead and ask like any insecurities, any concerns, or anything like that. I'm here to help for free, dude. You ain't gotta pay anybody shit. So yeah, I remember Nemesis, for example, you had talked about, I forget, you said you may have wanted help, but go ahead, ask your question, because I'll double check, but I don't got anything. I don't think I have any I don't have any preloaded questions, so to speak. Yeah, nothing. Guess I'll just put this out in the meantime. Sorry, I got distracted. Oh, someone's coming over. Okay, alright, sounds good. So yeah, you got some information here in case you need a bit of help, people. Alright, well. I'll read out what I have on my forum, give people a chance. Whoever's here. How many people are here? Probably not that many. Okay, like less than 10 across both platforms. Okay. So for reference, I have helped clients reconcile with their partners despite divorce, affairs, etc. I say etc. because it's a lot of different things. So like it's a very common territory. Divorce, oh no, divorce, oh no, my partner blocked me, oh no, they don't speak to me, oh no, they're seeing somebody else, oh no, we're getting divorced, we got kids, and we got like hundreds of thousands of dollars to worry about, and crazy disputes, and family problems here, and this, that problem there. I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. Doesn't really change how I help the client anyway. And many of my clients also do have trouble managing whatever stress, whatever anxiety that they have. And they usually require insistence in developing healthier coping skills and behaviors. So some of these clients, and at least one of the ones I've worked with recently, they face mental disorders, including but not limited to post-traumatic stress disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder, and a lot more. A lot of my clients also tend to have ADHD type things involved. So it's naturally with relationships breaking apart, things like divorce can be incredibly stressful. So for many people, it's like one of the lowest moments. So there's a lot that I deal with in relation to that. To be clear, I'm not a therapist. I do not have a license. My information is not meant to replace any medical advice and is just for your own education. I'm working towards becoming a licensed therapist someday. That is very much true. But for the time being, I'm just a coach. And just to be clear, anybody can become a coach very easily because there's no like formal accreditation compared to like being a licensed therapist. To that end, anything that I do provide that you do find useful, definitely take it to a licensed professional you trust and discuss it with them if you're concerned and to ensure your own safety. That's all. Clients bring life-shattering problems to you and you're just like, cool story, bro. Don't worry about it. It's real simple. Here's why. I won't communicate that to them directly because they can be like, oh man, you're invalidating the seriousness of my decision. I'm telling you how I think about it though. I'm just like just to be totally real. Totally real. If someone's telling me, oh my gosh, I'm going through a divorce, like obviously that's a serious thing. And I'm not going to say, oh, it's not that serious. But what I'm going to encourage the client to do is to change their focus from the seriousness of the event towards more things that are like actually solving their problems. First time. Right. So the reason, and like, I'm not going to invalidate someone's pain. What I'm going to show them is that the way of them trying to manage their pain and cope with their pain is making it worse. So when they're saying, hey, I'm having so many struggles, I'm like, yeah, I understand. Like, I get it, it's hard. But then I need to steer them towards a healthier direction. That's all. So usually what I'll say is like, yeah, sure, outcome, like whatever's happening today, like I get it, it's powerful, but focusing on that and obsessing over it and stressing out over it and just staying locked in that stress ain't gonna do us any good. Let's instead focus on, hey, how can we fix it? And that's in general my approach. Just like, yep, I know things suck now. Because it sucks now, let's try to figure out how to make it better. Now, what I will say, what I am thinking about sometimes is that when clients bring their life-shattering problems to me, there is a part of me sometimes that will go like, okay, like I've heard this before, but and might even have more of like the cool story bro thing. But here's why. I'll tell you why. Because if I have problems, I just get distracted and eventually they go away. That's a game-winning strategy. Hey man, I got a knife in my arm. And just don't think about it. Just, the pain will eventually go away. I didn't do anything about the knife, but, I don't notice the pain anymore. Yeah, I'm bleeding out, but I just don't pay attention to it. Which low-key is something some of my clients do, too. It's just like this, and anyway, that's a whole other thing. But sometimes, so back to what I was talking about, sometimes with my clients, what can happen is they will put out a sob story. And, naturally, like, people feel bad for them. Like, oh, that's so hard for you. Like, I get it. That's tough. But then you scratch the surface a little bit, and then you start to realize, bro, this person's kind of full of shit. For example, I remember one guy I was speaking to many years back. He was getting upset, and he was, like, all broken because his wife was now, like, sexting other people. On the surface, if you were just to hear, oh my gosh, dude, your wife is sexting? Whoa, she's cheating on you. Dude, that's terrible. Like, you should leave and X, Y, or Z stuff. Right? Like, she's being terrible to you. Like, you don't deserve to get cheated on. Like, just the usual stuff, right? And then I was just curious. I'm like, I remember when I was speaking to this guy, like, I was like, man, that's serious, dude. Holy shit. That seems really tough to deal with. And like I said, scratch the surface, and I was just asking, like, well, why she's doing that. And then he's like, yeah, well, I sexted a bunch of other women over the last several years, and I'm like, and then I heard that, I'm like, wait, what? You're complaining that your wife only just recently has started cheating on you, I guess, as she's leaving you, but you've done the very thing. You're now like, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, okay, you just completely ignored all the things that you did? And she told you, hey, please stop, and then you said you'd stop, but then you'd go back and forth over and over again. I'm like, bro, you're like fulfilling the stereotype of like once a cheater, always a cheater, and now you're upset that your wife is cheating on you. I'm like, get fucking serious. You can't get mad over her doing the same thing he's done, except clients like that do. And then they'll feel a little butthurt about it, and they'll feel a little guilty about, oh gosh, like whatever, and then they get upset, and then it's just like this big, massive, messy storm. And then if you were to tell him, like, yo, man, like if you were to say that to him, Wizard, he would just reject you. Be like, no, I have every right to be mad and my feelings and this and that. And they're like, dude, yeah, we're not saying you don't have a right to your feelings. But do you see the like absurdity of this? And then what'll happen is they'll just throw up denial. And I'm like, bro, if you're not even willing to admit how you fucked up, and you're not willing to do that today, and you just instead want to throw a pity party for yourself, then guess what? Your wife, who has dealt with this a million more times than I ever have, is not going to give a flying fuck. Because you aren't even doing your part. She has zero incentive to do hers. So to answer your question, Wizard, have clients left because they felt you weren't validating their feelings or weren't on their side? Yes. Some clients aren't there because they're trying to change themselves. Those are the people that, like, I can easily work with people, like very easily work with people if they're just like, hey, I'm ready to change. It's so fucking easy. And it is a big pleasure to work with them, regardless of like whatever fucked up things they have done. If I'm like, hey, this person's ready to change and they're fucking serious about it and they're willing to work with me, I'm like, this is going to be a beautiful professional relationship. And sometimes they might, like some of my clients, they have a lot of intense reservations to what I say. But the ones who are willing to change and are at least curious about it, and I can tell. And so then it's like, and that's fine, because then it can be a dialogue where they're like considering new perspectives and then they're evaluating things, and I'm helping them to decide what they want their values to be, who they want to be. And it's very much like I'm a part of their journey and I'm just helping them figure out who they want to be. And those are the people that do really well every single time. It won't matter what their starting point is. It's like, you know, they have the ingredients to do amazing things. So like, I'm here to work with you. I'll happily work with you. But other people, as you're saying, Wizard, are just there because they don't want to think about whether they have to change or not. It's a threat to them. It's a threat to, like, because there's so much like embarrassment at the other side. There's so much shame at the other side that they want to protect themselves from. But rather than facing their own shame, their own demons, and, you know, I'm sure there's trauma-based reasons for that, but rather than doing that, they want that approval from other people. And some people have spent, like when at my previous job, like they'll spend a lot of money for this, right? And it very much can be an infinite money glitch. They don't even have to try and fix the client, just indulge them. Yeah, exactly. A therapist can do that. Like, I wouldn't recommend a therapist to do that at all, and I don't want to do that. But I'll just say, like, look, what do you want? Like, do you want me to make you feel better? Like, support you? I'm like, I can do that. Or do you want to save your relationship? Like, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I'm not saying that. But you got to pick a priority what you're doing when you're kind of going to work with me. Like, I could say, oh, yeah, your partner is insert curse word here, and they're just crazy. Okay, great. Like, I can, like, you don't have to fucking pay me for that. But I'm there again because my goal is to help them reconcile. I'm like, hey, like, we gotta, like, this is a very different sort of experience compared to, oh, your feelings are hurt, let me validate your feelings. I mean, like, bro, why pay me? Go talk to some friends. I'm sure you have some people who like validate, like, oh, your partner is XYZ crazy and they're terrible and whatever. I'm like, yeah, we can do that all day, but, you know, are we here to validate, or do you want to like solve some problems? I'm here to help you solve some problems. But if we're not, like, if a client isn't gonna take any accountability no matter what, I'm like, well, it's impossible to reconcile. So I don't, like, I could just as easily just be like, all right, sure, man, like, we'll do what you want for your feelings, and I charge you a bunch of money for it, but that kind of goes against my ethics. So I don't do that. What I do try to do with my clients is challenge them. And if a client is up for the challenge, I'm here. I will give them things to think about that do challenge their views. And usually it's the stuff that I challenge them with, like, it's stuff that I strongly believe in and practice and works for me really well, and for other clients that have succeeded. And I can, like, I'm like, yeah, bro, I've helped people reconcile despite affairs, despite divorce, despite multiple kids, despite like just so many circumstances. Like, I've already done that. I've helped one of my clients who was formerly estranged from most of her kids to only being estranged by, I think, like a handful now. Right? Like, that's a big difference. Her kids think of her like a and she like fits the stereotypical boomer thing, like 100%. totally fits the boomer thing. Like anti-vax, like you name it. You name it. But now she has a much more solid relationships with those closer to her. So it's like I've done that. I'm like, my stuff works. It may not work for you, but let's figure out why. And my attitude is usually to think like, okay, what am I lacking? So you got her to change enough so that some kids forgave her? Yes. She changed on her own though, because she felt it was valuable. And I could tell when she'd come to our sessions, there was a lot of like self-reflection, self-awareness stuff. She would say like, yeah, I had like a lot of narcissistic tendencies. And yeah, I was very controlling. I'm like, dang, okay, she's done her homework. This is good. And then she'd bring up like a reservation she had about a certain thing. And then like we just kind of talked about basically how she wants to proceed with her life going forward in pursuit of her championing her values the most. And then she'd be like concerned, like she was concerned at some point about her ex-husband like ghosting her in some way, and then she was feeling resentful over it. And I was trying to, and I was able to help her think about like bigger things to address some of just some of like whatever concerns she has. She's like, I don't want to be a doormat. I'm like, I definitely don't want you to be a doormat. We don't want either of you to be a doormat. Maybe you could talk to him about it. Maybe you could be vulnerable and see how you could change your overall culture. She's like, oh yeah, I could. She's like, yeah, I could do that. That could change a lot. Because I don't want to be a doormat. I'm scared of being a doormat, and I don't want him to like be a doormat. So let's just figure out, like, let's just have an honest conversation and discuss these things together. Let me be understanding towards him is the type of stuff that it started to click with her. You know, she's accomplished a lot, even though she's been at like some severe low points. Must have been nice for you. The hardest part of getting her to reflect and want to change already done. Yes, that makes the job so much easier. Because she's already in the curious space. She's already curious. She's willing to learn. She's willing to try. So that like I'm like, great. Like all the bulk of the crazy part is done. The rest of it is just a long-term sort of just fine-tuning things, if you will. Yeah, it's like the difference. I remember when I first started working with her, she was feeling suicidal. Like she was severely depressed and suicidal. And now she's like, yeah, sometimes I get the thought, but like I she's she's like, yeah, it's like a big difference. And it's very much a big difference. Like I've seen her smile more, I've seen her like happier. She like graduated from university or something. Like she's made a big turnaround through a lot of her own hard work. As she's dealing with like a very overloaded, overwhelmed mind and stuff like that. So, you know, she's been put through the ringer, but she's making consistent choices to do better and to try to do better. And she's very quick to like take accountability, and sometimes she'll even say that, yeah, like I think I was just playing a bit of a victim mindset in my head, and I'm just making, and she even said herself like, oh, I'm just making excuses. And she could acknowledge that. I'm like, this is good. Okay, let's keep going from there. Yeah, she's been through a lot. So she obviously has one of those typical like sob story type things. But she's made consistent efforts and she's trying, and I just try to help her try in a way that brings her and her family peace, which is what she wants. Did you ask her what made her decide to change? Was it losing the relationship she had with her kids? Um, in my experience, events like that are not enough. I think that event can present an opportunity. Her losing those relationships made her start to question things because of how severely she lost them. But I think what really motivated her to change was for her to recognize that she played a huge part in fucking it up. And not only that, the way that she fucked it up goes against who she wants to be. which is very similar to my thing. So I've talked about this before in regards to Cass, but of course when Cass first expressed her desire to divorce, I like freaked out. Like I was like, oh shit. You know, I was scared. I was very confused. I don't know what the hell was happening. So that kind of like took me into a place where I need to evaluate things differently. She had more than 5 kids, so I'd hope she'd eventually get the message if she's losing them one by one. Yeah, we can hope. But back to my stuff. So for me, it was obviously a moment of reckoning, but I didn't know like what to focus on or anything. But I remember there was some sort of financial concern I had about like splitting assets, and like if I left, would it screw Cass over financially? And you know, I wanted to work things out, but none of it worked. Obviously, Cass kicked me out eventually anyway, which makes sense now in hindsight. But I think what really made change 1 million times easier for me in general was, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because some of it is private information about Cass. So for me, the biggest moments of change has come from when I recognize that what I am doing is not in pursuit of my values. If I'm like, if some behavior, if there's a behavior I'm doing that I come to learn at some point is me violating my own principles, my own values, my own beliefs, I'm fucking changing it. I do not give a flying fuck what I have to do to change it. I will find a way to change it. Plain and simple. And what I recognize is that in my marriage, I betrayed that at levels that I still feel terrible about. Like, it's stuff that I'm like, dude, this is fucking horrific by my own standards. That's why I say pretty, like, easily that I'm like, bro, I was emotionally abusive. Because I was. I was abusive. I neglected her, to say the least. So, because I grew up experiencing abuse myself, a lot of physical abuse, in part, mental abuse, psychological abuse, and I just didn't like recognize it was abuse as a kid. But I recognized, hey, whatever I experienced, I gave Cass, even the idea of giving her a fraction of that was just terrible. Because I knew when I grew up, I'm like, I never want to be physically abusive like my abusers were ever. Like, I never want to be a monster like that. And then I come to realize, oh my gosh, I was a monster, just in a different form. And I'm like, well, because I was a monster by my own standards, by my own beliefs, she has every right to like not give a flying fuck about me. And no hard feelings. She's pissed at me, fine. Because what I did was fucking terrible. In the meantime, because I don't want to be a monster, I want to be a good human being. Let me just focus on figuring out like how to become a good human being, and that's it. That is the most important thing before I can even consider, oh, like reconcile or talk to Cass again. So I pursued that. And so I see a lot of the same things in this client that I'm talking about too. And obviously this client, like myself, has needed help from time to time. And so I just try to help her steer herself the way she wants to go. Why change behavior when you can just change your values for the worse? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but not me. But if someone decides to do that and they go against their own values, which is usually because they're so freaking like outcome obsessed, then it just, and if they're just going to be terrible and manipulative, it's just all the more reason their partners are going to leave them in the first place. They're like, whoa, this person has like no character. They're not someone I can trust. They'll be manipulative. But yeah, that's what a lot of my work comes down to, is just helping the people change. But a big part of it is people not acknowledging that they even need to change in the first place, that they won't take accountability. And it's hard for them to take accountability when they're not even in tune with who they want to be. It's probably easier to just think, "Ah, screw it, I know it's a bad thing to do, but whatever." Yeah. And there's usually a lot of denial mixed in that. They'll justify, like, oh, I really had to do this bad thing. Ends justify the means, you know, Machiavellian thinking. The ends justify the means. I'm thinking, like, no, they fucking don't. No, they do not. Not to me. Oh, the world is cruel, so I gotta be cruel to other people because that's just how the world is if I want to survive. I'm like, bro, you live in like a middle class family and you're a middle class family, you have a decent job, and you have a wife and kids, and you're gonna operate in a Machiavellian way with your own wife. And then you're gonna be surprised when she doesn't like the day-to-day living with you. Okay. And it's just like people just total bullshit and self-sabotage. I'm like, I can see it. Like, it's just the denial, because then usually the denial is just some trauma. In my experience, it's just been some sort of coping mechanism to prevent some form of pain. But it's kind of that whole like short-term, long-term thing where it's, you know, let's say you got a bunch of dirty dishes in your sink. It obviously sucks to see that they're there. And you're like, oh man, I gotta fucking clean them. This sucks. I don't want to deal with it. And then what I've done, because I'm putting myself out here, it's just like, it's too much and it's stressful. I don't think about all this stuff. Okay, let me wait until later. When I feel a little better, maybe I can deal with it then. And then you get more dishes, and then they pile up even more, and then even more, and then you have like even a bigger problem. And you're like, fuck, I don't know if I can handle this at all. Oh my gosh. And then just like you never clean the dishes. And it just keeps getting worse, like more and more dishes until they're piling the sink, piling the floor. And then it's just like, okay, let me just like try to deal with it all at once. And then spend an hour cleaning, yeah. And like, that's for dishes. Right, dishes, usually if you don't deal with them for like a week, it's gonna get fucking chaotic, and then you can deal with them all in one fell swoop, but it's still exhausting. But imagine that for psychological problems that are festering for fucking decades. Oh, just let me like not deal with, let me not deal with my own sense of accountability ever. Let me never take responsibility for my own actions. Let me blame other people. I'm like, okay, good luck, I guess. Because yeah, your partner is totally gonna trust you if you can never take any responsibility for yourself. So yeah, it's a lot of self-imposed crap. But yeah, all right. I've read. Wow, it's already been 30 minutes. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna bring up is so as I was talking about, there's a movie clip I wanted to showcase from Kramer versus Kramer. It came out in 1979, as you can see on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do. Oh, I muted my mic. I muted my mic too early. What I was trying to say was this is a clip from Kramer versus Kramer. And what's about to happen is Meryl Streep's character is basically going to tell Dustin Hoffman's character that she wants to leave. And what I would encourage the men who might be watching this is Yeah, just like observe this. But I'm basically going to speak towards the dysfunction I see happening here. Not, and I'm not going to focus on, and later I'm not going to focus on what's the premise of the movie. Oh God, that's too much text. Hold up, let me get it out. All right, it tells the story of a couple's divorce, its effect on their young son, and the subsequent evolution of their relationships and views on parenting. It explores the psychology and fallout of divorce and touches on emerging and prevailing social issues such as gender roles, fathers' rights, work-life balance, and single parents. It was a pretty big, it was a pretty significant film, I think, at the time. So yeah, right now, Meryl Streep's character is basically about to tell Dustin Hoffman's character that, hey, I want a divorce, and that she's gonna leave. So I think this is representative of like just seeing this interaction tells me like 500 problems that exist. And I'm not gonna be focusing so much on whatever issues I have with Meryl Streep's character as much as Dustin Hoffman's character, because I think men, when they would watch this, will usually sympathize with the man rather than the woman. So I'll play this. Hopefully sound is good. I'm going to mute my mic, and then I'll be happy to chat about it from there.
You know Jack Edrich over in accounting?
He committed suicide.
Yeah, hi. Ted Kramer. Listen, I got to get those photos from the retoucher by tomorrow morning, okay?
I'm leaving you.
Honey, please.
I can't hear.
What? Okay, you too. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow.
You guys eat?
Ted, I'm leaving you. Ted. Keys. What? Here are my keys. Here's my American Express card. Here's my Bloomingdale's credit card. Here's my checkbook. I've taken $2,000 out of our savings account because that's what I had in the bank when we first got married.
What's this, some kind of joke?
Here's the cleaning. Here's the laundry ticket. You can pick them both up on Saturday. You have to pick them up on Saturday. Joe, you want to tell me
what's the matter?
I paid the rent, I paid the Con Ed bill, and I paid the phone bill, so...
Well, you really pick your times to...
Well, I'm sorry that I was late, but I was busy making a living, all right? Come on, okay? Can we stop now?
So, that's everything.
Hey. Hey, enough, all right? What are you doing? Where are you going? Come on, just tell me what I did. That's all. Just tell me what I did that's so terrible.
It's not
Then
you.
what is it?
It's me. It's my fault. You just married the wrong person, that's all. I can't,
all right, fine. Let's just go inside, please.
I can't. I tried. I swear.
Joanna, please, now, just... I'm sorry.
No, don't make me go in there. Please don't make me go in there. Don't make me go in there.
We'll just talk.
If you do, I swear, one day, next week, maybe next year, I don't know. I'll go right out the window.
Oh, please, now, come on now. What about Billy?
I'm not taking him with me. I'm no good for him. I'm terrible with him. I have no patience. He's better off without me.
Joanne, please.
And I don't love you anymore.
So yeah, that's the clip, huh? Well, I have to admit, man, Meryl Streep got me emotional. So, it's interesting you picked that up, Wizard, in that he's complaining she's picking a bad time to leave. And for me, what I noticed just on the outset is that there's such a huge disconnect between these two individuals. And Dustin Hoffman's character's instinct is... like, he's obviously not really like, to me, it's very clear he hasn't paid attention to her. He says things like, oh, you picked a bad time to leave. He, like, it's all stuff that's very, very clearly about himself. In fact, you picked a bad time to leave. He says stuff like, what is this, a joke? I'm like, what the hell, dude? You think, like, it's all stuff that's really based on him just protecting whatever image he has of himself, rather than really trying to understand what's going on with her. That's his instinct. To me, I did sympathize with the man. Why didn't she try to talk before just blowing it all up and leaving? It's a good question. And that's the thing. I would sympathize with people like Dustin Hoffman. I'd be like, oh man, she's being so harsh. She didn't say anything. She's just being so quick, and she's like dropping the marriage like so soon. Why didn't she try to talk about it or anything, etc.? She's being really ruthless. She's being really cold. Right, maybe she's blowing things up out of proportion, perhaps. Right? But all of that, that instinct to do that, and that's the behavior that comes out of that, is precisely the problem. And to me, it's very clear why she's leaving him. His behavior in this moment shows me like so much shit that has fucked her over in the marriage. Why she would be unhappy enough to the point to leave. He's not sympathizing with her. Like, oh my, he's not trying to be empathetic to her. That's not his gut instincts. And I'm thinking like, bro, your own wife, your instinct when you have problems is to focus on, oh, hey, I'm the victim. Rather than like, okay, we've got a problem. Let me try to understand what problems you're having. Let me be there for you. Let me be supportive to you. He has no clue really what, like, it's very clear to me, he has no real idea, no real understanding of what her experience has been. But in this clip, of which I think is great acting on Meryl Streep's part, like, I was like, holy shit. He's busy providing for the family. Sure. But there's plenty of, like, sure, he's busy providing for the family. And that's what he leans on. Hey, I was busy making a living, right? But do we know anything about her? I look like him saying, hey, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I've been doing X, I've been doing Y, I've been doing this, it's been hard for me here, it's been hard for me there, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. I'm sure it is. I'm not denying that. But you are missing her entire side of the story. And if he doesn't, like, how can you solve problems with somebody else if you don't even know what their issue is? So trying to, like, usually with my clients, they're like, at first anyway, and the ones that certainly do not succeed in reconciling, like, at all, they miss the biggest piece of the puzzle, which is trying to understand their partners. They don't have that, like, skill in them. It's just not there. They didn't grow up with it, like, or whatever. But they're like, oh, here's all these reasons about why you shouldn't leave me. Because look at all I did. Here is my perspective on why you are wrong. Not once is it like, well, what am I missing? That just, like, isn't there. It's like the knee-jerk response to, like, not be understanding towards their partner. I can pick up like 15 clues from her, which would immediately change the way that I would evaluate this and how I would handle this. So here, I'll replay the clip without sound this time. All right, if I'm just studying her, my guess is like, hey, for somebody to leave and to make the decision about a divorce, it's not easy. So, okay, what do we got going on here? She looks stressed. Looks like it's building up to a big moment for her. She doesn't look happy to me. And now she's she's like, oh shit, preparing to like tell this guy, hey, I'm gonna leave you. Right? It's already stressful. She's encountering some stress. All right, I'm ignoring him. And then she says, I'm leaving you. And then she looks like she's just saying matter of fact, like, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that, here's all this, here's all that. I'm like, and I'm thinking like, whoa, dude, she's fucking serious. He says, what is this, some kind of joke? My response is like, bro, this is serious. What the fuck just happened? Is my first thing. I'm like, I need to, like, whoa, what's going on? And also, the fact that I would, and just another thing, if I'm going to get blindsided by divorce, by the way, that's already another problem because it just means I wasn't fucking paying attention. Right, she's looking at him if he's just going to be dismissive towards her. It isn't like she's just anticipating, right? She's just like, from this, I can see she's just anticipating he's not going to take her seriously. He's not going to take the problems that she's having with him seriously. So, and when he says, is this some kind of joke? I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude, you're talking about digging your own grave. You've literally done the thing she's already anticipating. And so I imagine for her, she's already felt like belittled so many times. Hey, honey, I have a really serious issue that I need to work back with you. And if his response is like, well, what is this, a joke? As if her concerns are like fucking meaningless and mean like nothing. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's already a death sentence right there. And so she's being very matter of fact, trying not to have any emotion, just like pure on business, right? And then he's still stuck in like, oh gosh, consequences to me. Yeah, but okay, whatever. But again, it's all about him. In this moment, he's focused on him. And she's just like, okay, yeah, that's the usual. Okay, I'm getting all this stuff. I handled all this shit. I'm out. And then he's like, oh yeah, I was earning for the earning for the family or whatever. And that's my reason. Or maybe I had some problems, but I was doing this, so it's kind of justified. And they're like, all right, let's just stop this, right? And she's like, yeah, I fucking heard this before. My concerns being treated as if they're fucking nothing. Once again. Not really, there is like, this is partially why I'm divorcing this guy in the first place. Just being neglected, completely being ignored, completely being dismissed. In this super serious time, I'm fucking out of here. Which I'm like, yeah, he's already dismissing you right now. And she's like, yep, I don't want to get... And then for her, she's probably like burned out by this at this point. She doesn't want to deal with it any longer. So she's like, yeah, okay, I'm not even going to engage. I'm just going to fucking go. Yep, okay, cool. All right, bye, whatever. I'm not dealing with this shit. He's like, oh, fuck, she's really leaving now. Like, he's like, it's a shock to him. She's leaving. He's like, no, I'm not going to let you leave. Just because he's just like controlled by his emotions. Not even really thinking about what the fuck is going on. And what's interesting to me is that what Meryl Streep's character does, or rather does not do, which is she doesn't even try to fight with the bag. She's looking at the bag very quickly. She packed up a bunch of stuff. And then it looks like she's contemplating, like, take it or no. And then she's like, fuck it. I'm out. Like, all right, whatever. This is too much. I'm leaving. She straight up leaves. The situation is so bad for her that she's deciding she's got to fucking leave. Whatever she packed, it's not that important. It's not worth fighting over. She's just leaving. All right. He obviously doesn't get the hints. He's just like, whoa, she's leaving. Oh no, I need to make her not leave. Without any real recognition of what she is facing. And she's just like, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to go. I just want to go. I just want to go. And then she's like saying the usual, like, it's not you thing. It's a me problem. Just anything to escape the situation. Anything to escape. And then you can see, like, now she's starting to break down. she's trying to escape the situation is because this is how much turmoil being around him has brought. She doesn't want him to touch. He's getting frustrated, of course, because, oh gosh, it's difficult to work with her. So he's like still fighting in a way. Once again, they're fighting. There's no understanding on his part towards her. And then he's trying a different strategy of like kind of begging and pleading and trying to comfort and whatever. And now she's just like, just let me fucking go. And it's so distressing for her. And then she expresses at some point that like it's so bad for her, like she just feels like she has to jump out of a window. So all of that emotional turmoil is like, to me, front and center right now. And I'm like, oh my God. This is awful. Whatever she's experiencing is terrible. And then he's trying to comfort and cajole her. And then he starts to beg. And then I can see for her, it's almost like a little bit of a war. Right? And this is a reality. And like, she doesn't look happy. She looks quite emotional and sad and like a little broken. And she's just saying everything that she's honestly feeling, which is not easy for her. Like, I don't love you anymore type of deal. I'm not going to take my kid, which, you know, obviously doesn't feel good for her. None of this is bringing her any happiness. I mean, leaving your own child and then he's trying to negotiate, please just stay. But she's just like, I can't do it. Right. So she's not making, whatever she's choosing is not coming from any semblance of happiness. Relationship gaki, whatever. She's already feeling pretty miserable. There's a lot of stress that she's enduring. She doesn't have it in her to fight with him, to argue with him, to get him to understand her at all, to try to work with her. There's none. It's like clear to her that ain't gonna fucking happen. He's not really gonna be supportive. In fact, as demonstrated in that clip, he's just doing the usual, like, oh yeah, here's all the reasons why what I'm doing is justified, and you're kind of crazy, and you're kind of dumb and wrong, and whatever. His approach to trying to solve the problem fucked it up even further. Nowhere in that entire interaction from him did I get anything that would make me think, oh, he's somebody I could potentially work things out with in some way, shape, or form. Whether it is the issues we have about whatever baggage I have with him, whatever misunderstandings I have with him, it's clear to me that she has zero faith in that occurring at all. To me, I get zero faith in him doing that at all. Instead, he's just like, she's not even considering that he could have done something so seriously fucked up that she'd leave. No, no. Here's the thing. He might have had a chance if he got on his knees instantly kept her from leaving the room. Nope. No. No, begging and pleading won't work. Think about it this way, Wizard. For her to get to this place, to leave, to divorce, to even leave her son, which tears her up, and for her to admit she's not good for him, like, oh my gosh, talk about like her own sense of self just fucking plummeting. But even despite all of that very obvious shame and humiliation she is experiencing, she's still choosing to make those choices anyway. I'm guessing this problem, I mean, these problems could not have just happened overnight. This is some long-term shit over many years. Weeks, if not months, if not years. And it's probably not like the first time she's tried to express things related to her issues with him before. He, in this moment, his instinct was to be dismissive of her. His instinct was to focus on himself and how he is right. In a serious situation, one of the most serious things that a married couple could ever deal with, his instinct was to be dismissive of her. If that's happening now, how many other fucking times has this happened before? So would him even begging or pleading, hey, please just give me one more chance, even make a fucking difference? I would argue maybe at best, but most likely, given her behavior, no. No fucking way. And for me, just personally speaking, I would say fuck no. No way. I'm guessing she's already based on her behavior, she's planned this out, thought of this, prepared this for a long time in secret. Because when she started planning that was the moment she realized it's not getting any better. There's no point in me trying to work things out with my husband any further, like at all. He's already tried to promise some things will be better, but he never fucking does anything that actually changes things for the better. I can't work anything out with him, so I've already tried hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. And I even kind of had like a waiting period to just see if things could possibly change. But now that things were okay enough for him, he didn't really give a fuck if things were okay for me. And now all of a sudden, when I tell him, hey, I'm actually really leaving, he's like, oh, sorry, I'll beg it. Please give me a chance. It's like bullshit. I don't believe you. When things were good for you, you did nothing. When I told you things were bad, you still did nothing. You saying, oh, well, now I realize the seriousness of this. I promise I'll change. And, like, that's not going to do any damn difference. And I could tell, like, when she's in the elevator, she's calculating all this, but she's already just been given so much evidence, literally within, like, however long this clip is. What is it, like, 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes and 12 seconds, roughly 2 minutes. She got the exact same shit that she has dealt with for a long time. That would make her feel so miserable. So I would say a proper understanding of the situation is that, hey, this problem will never be fixed today, but it could be fixed in the long run. And it will be fixed in the long run by me fixing my shit. Addressing things, the problems that I have that would cause my marriage to get so fucked up by my own behavior. So, listen, anyway. From a 2-minute clip, just to be clear, when I work with my clients, their behavior, which is sometimes can just be a short, like as in this clip, I see a dynamic within 2 minutes. I get so much information to the point I could like talk about it for nearly 30 straight minutes. And it like, that's just scratching the surface of whatever relationship dynamic problems are coming from the client. Like it's plain as day for me. I'm like, all right, his instinct was not to be compassionate to her in this moment, in a serious moment. That's already a death sentence. He'll just say, well, yeah, I know you got your problems, but ignore whatever they are because I was busy providing for the family. And I'm like, bro, she's not leaving you because you're busy providing for the family. I mean, come the fuck on. How many military couples are there in which spouse is away for like a long ass time and then everything's fine when they come back home and it's like super joyous and amazing? I do not like the whole, oh, I was busy providing for the family. It's just a fucking excuse. It's such an excuse. I've heard that excuse. I've had that excuse used on me. And I'm like, okay, you were providing for the family, Dad. that has completely fucking separate from the fact you were abusive to me. Like, get fucking serious. Yes. You don't understand, Pooper. He's just a victim of the single family income culture. Ah, yes, of course. Oh. But yeah, he's just playing the peak victim card. Oh, I'm just a victim. Ah. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you go ahead and entertain that narrative and use that to justify doing shitty things to your wife, dude. Like, he's not even being loving to her. Like, come on. He's not being loving. He's not being understanding towards her. He doesn't even do it when the time's like, he's not doing it when things are hard. I'm like, he's not even doing it during serious things. So, there's no way he hasn't been doing that probably forever. And she's just tired of it. And it broke her. She probably felt so much pain constantly over and over and over again, only for it to be told that it was nothing. So then her entire self-esteem just shatters. And to experience that from the person that you've loved and like wanted to be with forever, oh man, that is serious pain. Like, I can't even describe it. That's like heart crushing. And then it's like your mind just gets fucked up. Watching the movie together with Cass would be interesting for you guys. Yeah, maybe. I don't think I'd watch it with her because, like, not because I wouldn't like want to watch it with her, but because we'd rather watch more fun movies. We talk about shit like this all the time. Like, she'll tell me like, yeah, you were insufferable. I'm like, yeah, I fucking was. I did shit like Dustin Hoffman too. Not exactly the same way, but bad enough. So when I see stuff like this now as a coach, it just shows me that like, yo, like there's so much that can be done to preserve relationships, and it's like really not that complicated, but it just requires a different way of thinking. In other words, the different way of thinking is, hey bro, you're having problems with your partner. First off, don't be fucking selfish as like your first resort. And I say that because oftentimes those who, like, people like him will probably be concerned, oh my gosh, I don't want to be a doormat. When it's like, dude, the way that you're addressing your fears of being a doormat are to make your other partner a doormat. Like, are you fucking serious? My instincts, like 99+% of the time, or I try to make it as high as possible, is to just be sympathetic to the one that I love and care about. Oh, could be like, oh, hey, honey, like, oh shit, this is really serious for you. Okay. You want a divorce, there's no way that, like, this is not an easy decision. Because if I were to make a decision like this, I probably, like, I wouldn't make it spur of the moment. Like, it would, in order for me to make that decision for someone that I love, like, I'd have to be so broken. Holy fuck. Okay, you're feeling broken. There's no way you can probably trust me, to say the least. Like, let me help you leave. Because right now, you just really need to leave and get away from this shit. I don't want you to feel miserable. I don't want you to feel broken. I want you to feel happy. And if I haven't made you feel happy, I need to figure out what the fuck I did so badly that I caused misery to you. And if you're open to it, like, I'm guessing you don't feel like you can feel open to it, which is understandable. But at some point, whenever you feel comfortable, just, it would be my honor to hear about it. But in the meantime, let me just help. What do you need, honey? Let me be there for you. That approach, while imperfect, would be better. I'm trying to legit, through my actions and through everything I'm trying to do, to communicate that, hey, honey, you're suffering through pain. I want to help you. I want to take you out of it. Not in the way I think is best, but on what you need as your own individual, because I respect you as a person. I mean, there's like so many messages I'm communicating there. It's hard for me to just pinpoint all of them. But generally, I'm trying to be a loving, supportive partner no matter what. Oh, you want to divorce me? Let me try to understand why and what I can do to make it better from my end. What can I do to make it better? I am going to try to investigate and figure that out. Was her leaving at the start of the movie? I don't know at the very beginning because I haven't seen this in a long, long time. But it's clip 1 out of 8, so I think it's pretty early. Let me see if I can find out. Yeah, it looks like it's almost at the very, very beginning. Like Wikipedia's first paragraph. So Ted Kramer, a workaholic. So yeah, he's a workaholic, all right? Has just landed an important account and job promotion when he shares the news with Joanna, his wife of 8 years. 8! She shocks him by announcing she's leaving him. So yeah, pretty early in the movie. But right, so as with this clip, you know, it's just I like for me when I watched this clip, like one of the more recent times, I was like, oh my gosh, Meryl Streep's character Joanna. I'm like, oh my gosh, that doesn't like she looks so broken. Like my heart goes out to her. Like want to give her a spirit, like a hug of sorts, comfort her in some way. What does she need? What can I do to help her? I'm like, this is heartbreaking to watch. I think Meryl Streep did a great job and just like so many different subtleties. And so fantastic job for her performance. Also, apparently Dustin Hoffman was like a total dick to her in real life. I'm like, what the hell, dude? But yeah, so yeah, like my instinct was to be sympathetic to like my wife in this situation, not oh me. So right with my clients, I have to give them a different way of thinking, and it's basically like let's stop being selfish and let's start being more selfless and altruistic and giving rather than oh what about me, take 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 take, let me be like a fucking leech. It's like no, let me start giving, let me start being loving instead of what can you do for me, think about like what can I do for you. Also, I'm going to segue this to a Reddit thing which kind of corroborates this if I can find it. Let's see, where can I find saved Reddit posts? What? Bullshit. Are you serious? Oh no. Oh, view profile. God damn it. Yeah, I guess it didn't save it. But it was basically a thread of like asking a bunch of happily married men, like, what's their advice? I'm gonna see if I thought I saved it on my mobile. Maybe I didn't. Really? Let me search for it. Oh boy. Damn. Uh, I I regret. uh, do not type in happily married men and search for new on Reddit. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause that was I that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I don't remember the name of the post. I saved it so I wouldn't have to remember. God damn it. Let's see if I can find it in my history. Hey, Cram, good to see you. If you still have that question, feel free to ask. Ooh, maybe I can check upvoted. No. Downvoted. No. Can't find it. God damn it. Yeah. I'll spend too much time. I guess I should have searched for it beforehand. Oh well. Oh. But yeah, so I guess unfortunately I couldn't find that post. I thought I had it saved. Should have checked. But hopefully just you get somewhat of an idea that sometimes the simplest way to deal with relationship problems or supposedly massive ones big in scope is just to make sure your attitude and your head is in the right space. If you're selfish in your relationships, shouldn't be a surprise when your partner is leaving you for being selfish. It's really about it. Like all things considered. But sometimes my clients will just focus on like, oh my gosh, we have these problems. Oh, the family's influencing them, or friends are influencing them, and they say all sorts of negative stuff about me, and that's why my partner doesn't like me, or whatever. I'm like, no, your partner's leaving you for you. Because there's plenty of people, who are loyal to their partners regardless of what the outside world says about their partners. I was telling Cass this today. I'm like, hey, like, if you're a nice person, you're like the nicest person that I've ever met. If someone treats you poorly, I don't care who they are, they're out. It doesn't matter who they are. They are out. Instantaneously. You name it, it doesn't matter. That's despite the fact that she's the one that kicked me out and divorced me. That's how highly I think of her. That's how good of a person I think of, what I think about her. Outside opinions are not gonna, they can go ahead and try to poison my mind, but I'm just like, yeah, good luck. I already have all the proof I need. I'm like, if anything, if you're gonna be harsh about her and try to convince me about her, it's more a reflection of you, not her. But you know, that's the thing. It's just a matter of me knowing what I'm dealing with. All right. Anyway, I open the floor to people. If there isn't that much interest in these, I'll just like stop streaming altogether. I don't mind. I'm not like, I'm having fun, but it's also up to y'all too. Or Wizard, I know if you're still here, I remember you were talking about like, what was it? Man-hating feminists or something like that. I'd be happy to chat about that with you too. Everybody's just busy today, I guess. Fair. But you can bring up relationship topics or whatever you're curious about too. Because I'll just tell you straight up, I think you were saying like feminists. I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering. But I'm totally a feminist. 100%. 100%. All right, now I got a question. So Wizard, you gotta wait. You're too late. Okay, not your typical topic, but you understand people. Over the years, I've had friends and acquaintances who struggle with depression, suicidal thoughts. Other than encouraging them to get professional help, what else can I do? So obviously you've done the great step in encouraging them to get that professional help. But in terms of what you can do, let's first just ask the most, arguably one of the most important questions is why? Why are they depressed? That's usually like the number one question I ask in general. I can see what's happening, so I'm like, sure, someone is like, why are they depressed? That's what I would encourage you to ask. The step one. Someone is feeling something intense. They're feeling suicidal thoughts. But why? Now, you might be given some reason. Do you know any reasons by chance? Because maybe there could be some reasons you relate to, some practical things you could help with. Or maybe not. Who knows? But without understanding why someone's depressed, it's hard to figure out where to go next. If he's had multiple friends who are depressed, maybe he's the problem as a common denominator. Solid logic, wizard. Usually not good enough. Okay, so I guess same question. Like, now I want to understand, what are they not, like, why are they not good enough? So here we go. Not good enough. Why? What makes them feel not good? Like, I get it. You're gonna feel sad. Like I'd understand someone feels like they're complete garbage and they're like, I don't want to live anymore. Or something like that. Like, that's a pretty common expression. But good enough, what makes them not good enough? Why are they not good enough? For what? For whom? Like, where, like, if someone, like, for example, I'm not good enough of a perfect player in Neo 3. Or let's take my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is not good enough for Team Ninja to subsidize or to sponsor. Now, I'm not going to kill myself over it. So, obviously, if I was to like say like, hey man, I'm feeling suicidal over not being sponsored by Team Ninja or something, I'm sure you guys would be like, wait, that doesn't make any fucking sense, bro. That seems a bit extreme. There's gotta be something else going on. So that's what I'm trying to help you discover. And while you're trying to answer these questions, the goal here isn't to help you to solve their problems. It's just for you there to be supportive as a friend, so they can just like chat with you about these things. You can chat with them and then figure out where you want to go next from here, and for you to recommend some things that can be helpful. But through this process of just really trying to understand what the real root of the problems are, it's a lot easier to actually solve it. So for these friends that you're having, or acquaintances, they're struggling with depression, suicidal thoughts because they don't feel they're not good enough. Like, where? Are they not good enough spouses? Not good enough at their work? Like, what is going on? How do they know they're not good enough? It's hard for me to relate because in the conversation, their thoughts aren't logical and I can no longer relate. I mean, sure. Logically, what people will communicate can have a lot of cognitive dissonance. So let's pause this a little bit. Let me copy. Like, logically, many thoughts just like don't connect. So for example, as I've kind of talked about in my relationship stuff, that grammar was poor. It's fine. It's cool, dude. Usually it's like the statement, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That's a very common thing that my clients will hear. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean, right? Just like if you don't understand that, of course, it's a reasonable question to ask. Like, Cram, would this type of statement like not make sense, for example, or not seem logical? I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That is logical? Okay. So give me an example of an illogical statement rather than me using this. Statement makes perfect sense in my opinion. Okay. You guys are way ahead of my clients. So, Cram, give me one of the thoughts that are not logical. That you can no longer relate. That's hard for you to relate to. We'll start there. It's more like they don't want to make the effort to improve their situation. Okay. So Okay, so they wallow in sadness. Ah, okay, we're getting somewhere. And decide life isn't worth living. Okay. So they're not okay, so on the surface, logically. So let's think about this. All right? Because by the way, I've had major depressive disorder. So I've worked through it with therapy, no medication, largely for the most part for like the last several years. To the point my doctors are like, bro, you're like in the healthiest shape you've ever been. I'm like, really? Okay, cool. All that to say, I think I can speak to this. So someone isn't putting effort in a way, like for example, if someone was to like complain about, oh my gosh, my dishes are piling up and it's stressing me out, I'm feeling terrible about it. Naturally, the thing is going to be about like, okay, then go do the dishes. No, but it's too hard, right? Or some shit like that. And it's like, okay, well, you can solve the problem really easily? That would take away your sadness? Like, wait, it's right the fucking there, dude. Like, hello? Right, a bigger scale, of course. Right, a bigger scale. So here's the thing, just to be very clear, it is not your responsibility to get their engines moving. Right now, in this state, what's happening is there's a lot of the ways that they're seeing the world that are kind of just their perception about life themselves, a lot of paradigms that they're having, which is really fucking them over. Their problem seems solvable, but they don't want to do anything. Right. And just to be clear, like, you can't make them want it. They have to want it. Like, the desire, the drive to change has to come from within. It's not your job to fix them, just to be very clear. So they have to realize it themselves. But what you can do is you can talk about what helps you and why. And it's their choice whether they want to go with it. And that kind of falls in line with what I do with my work. But for example, if someone is feeling really depressed about things, I'll really want to understand why and what I can actually do that would help. Like, I get depressed. I like have depressive episodes from time to time. Like, I have PTSD, like officially diagnosed now. So yes, I do have like trauma-based episodes where like my mind feels super fucked. But one thing I have learned in my life is that I don't need my emotions to be perfect by any means before I try to do certain behaviors. They are separated. I can still feel totally depressed and still do shit at the same time. I can be like, that just comes with me trying to become more emotionally mature over time. For me, for the longest time, when I wouldn't put in, say, effort, it's because of all these other things I was concerned about feeling like, oh, that little effort that I put in. What do you mean perfect emotions? So for example, let's say with Neo, right? Let's say when you're getting tilted. You're getting tilted with Neo, frustrated with Neo, because you can't do something. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, well, I'm in a bad state of mind. And if I'm in a bad state of mind, I'm never going to get better at Neo, which like makes sense. If you're tilted and you're playing the game, you're not going to do as well. But then the issue for somebody who's saying, and so naturally I want my emotions to be in a perfect state where like I'm in the flow, I'm in the zone or whatever, paying attention and this, doing that and that, right? So for me, in my own life story, I felt I needed to feel perfect. I needed to feel happy and motivated to go ahead and take care of all this stuff. And I was like waiting for like this emotional thing to kind of kick into shape. But when I was majorly depressed, because of that paradigm, guess what? I'm always depressed. The depression ain't magically fucking going away. So but I didn't adapt to things, so nothing really changed. But once I realized that it's like, no, it's like from my own childhood trauma, I realized that like, no, I can feel however the fuck I want. Just get stuff done. That can be separate. I can do dishes and be like grumpy about it, but like just do the dishes. And once I started to develop that sense of self-esteem where I'm like, oh, like my ability to create good in the present is independent of how I'm feeling. I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. Once I had some specific things I could do that would make things better, I started to feel better as well. Can't deflect the whole boss combo, but realizing deflecting most of it for now is good enough. Yeah. Or just like, I think what happens with people who put a lack of effort in something, in my experience, is because when they see whatever challenges they have to overcome, their perception of how much they have to overcome is too much. So let's say, for example, with the whole like Neo analogy, let's say it's like, imagine if you're trying to deflect Takeda Shingen, or here, let's take me. Deflect stepping Takeda Shingen's like 6-hit combo. It's a pretty tall order, and that's a lot. Imagine me trying to instruct a newcomer to do that, and then for that to be their marker of whether they're a good Neo player or good enough or to get any attention for it, right? It's a pretty tall order. They have to learn a boss, they have to learn samurai style, they have to learn deflect stepping, they have to learn deflect timing. Like, it's a whole lot of shit to deal with. And if their marker is like, okay, I can't do that, I can't get to that, that seems too fucking hard for me, then it's like, well, I'm not like, I can't, like, I'm not gonna bother going for it. It's just too impractical. They don't, and if it's like in their minds, if it's like, okay, I either know I start as a beginner and have to get to that next crazy step overnight, it's like I can't do it. And so it's just such a huge like gap of perception. It's just like, hey, I can't do it. And then for those who are in like cleaning a messy room, doing it all at once seems too much, so you don't even want to start. Right. And then, of course, what can happen is just like, oh no, I feel so bad because the mess is still there. That's a better analogy, Wizard. Right. Cleaning a messy room, doing it all at once seems too much. You don't even want to start, right? You have that feeling. But then because of that feeling, you might, like, you're feeling a little demotivated or crappy about it. But then your choice to go about it is to just not engage with it because the effort and your perception of what it will take to deal with it all is, I can't do it. So I'm not going to try. And then the mess stays messy. But every time you re-encounter the same situation, you feel crummy about it. And now you're feeling crummier about yourself. And so then this whole message of just like, why bother trying, just starts to seep in. And then you're like, oh man, I can't even clean a room. I feel like a failure. I can't do this. I feel like a failure. I can't even handle my own self. I definitely am a failure. What's the point? I can't get anything right. But it's just this constant setup for failure. And then you don't put in the effort. You get more evidence you suck. You feel shitty about yourself. Things keep falling apart. It gets worse and worse. So now it's no longer a messy room. It's a whole messy floor of your house. Now it's no longer a messy floor of your house, it's your entire house. And it just keeps piling and problems can get bigger and bigger. And then it's just like, hey, no matter what I do, things are going to shit. I want to give up. Oh, but giving up is bad too. And look how bad I am. And I'm so fucked up and I'm depressed. And I can't even handle anything at all. And it's a big nasty spiral until they crumble. So yeah, it kind of goes up into here. But the thing is, these expectations, for example, of having to do it all at once is gonna fuck you over. Rome wasn't built in a single day or a single night. It's like, it took a long ass time. Or maybe you've heard the expression, how do you like eat an elephant one bite at a time or something? I mean, could you imagine someone eating an entire meal, like a big large pizza, all right, and just just shoving the entire thing in their mouth all at once? You're like, bro, are you trying to choke yourself? It's like, bro, just bite and chew it, then do that with the next bite of pizza? With the messy room? Okay, sure, you can't clean everything today. I mean, it'd be cool if you could. But if you're only up to be able to do a small amount, do that. Do just that small amount. Just one little bit, the bit that you can do. If you don't have the energy and you're feeling too depressed about something, try to just do a little bit in that direction, just a little bit. And just keep trying to do whatever that little bit is that you feel like is a good amount for you, not too easy, not too difficult, but just that right amount. And just do that. Maybe like in this messy room analogy that you've so brilliantly brought up, Wizard, you can have, let's say your whole room, let's say it's a 300 square foot room, I don't know. Let's say you can only manage to clean 3 square feet the first time. Yes, it's going to feel bad that you got 297 bits left, but you still did 3. You still did 3. You did 3 despite all the difficulties you've had. Great, you've done 3. So I'll be happy with that. You did something, despite how depressed you were feeling. Then the next time, you have some energy to try, give it another shot. See if you can do another 3, or maybe, if you feel up for it, try 4 square feet. Or whatever you think will be an appropriate level of challenge for you. And if you get, as you're saying, Wizard, only 3, that's going to take forever. Might as well not even try. 3 is still better than 0. 3 is still making some progress. Maybe not the absolute progress that you want today. But if all you can handle right now is 3, let's just do 3. Maybe tomorrow we can do 4. Let's just start the engine running. Let's get that momentum started. At first, your abilities will be small, but they'll be steadily increasing. But at a certain point, you'll start to realize, just based on what you've done, and the fact that you've cleaned a portion of your room, you might think, you know what? I think I could do more than 5. Let me try like 10, if not 20. Actually, fuck it. I want to do I think I can do 30. Maybe you'll overshoot a bit. You're like, oh, actually, I could only handle 20. Still, you did a lot and you learned more about yourself and your limits, and you could just keep growing your skills, despite how depressed you're feeling. Just start small. World's messiest room. But I'm sure you can relate to this, Wizard, when it's like you leave all the dishes piling up, and obviously the thought of doing all the dishes at once sucks. Same for me. So what I usually tell myself is like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to do 1 dish. Fuck it. Only 1. Just 1. And then like I clean the dish and I'm just like, well, now that I'm here, I might as well do another. And I'm like, fuck it. And then like I clean the whole thing and I'm like, oh, that was a lot easier than I thought. I actually have more energy. Actually, the sink's a little dirty. Let me like scrub it a little bit. Oh, actually, let me do this. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, finish all this stuff in like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And once I've taken stock of that, and I've seen that my efforts, I'm more capable than I think, for example. I mean, it makes me feel better about myself. I'm like, oh shit, I can handle more than I thought. So I would say, Cram, for you, their problems will definitely seem solvable to you because you know how to deal with it. They do not. the only advice I try to give to people who aren't putting effort is to just is not so much to try to get them to do a lot of effort, but just to start their engines, to just make a small effort. A small one, a realistic, achievable one for them. Not to do everything all at once, but just to get them to be self-sustainable. Self-starters, so to speak. Let them work through things at their own pace, not rush them, and just be supportive and help and inspirational in some way. That's really it. The responsibility for the problems to be solved, especially since it's their own, is on them. And so if they're unable to have their own engines running, I just need to help them to start their engines so they can go off to the races. And that's the same thing I tell my clients. We think about it, the clients who are facing, as I talk about, divorce, affairs, etc., these are pretty serious fucking problems. As I mentioned with the Kramer versus Kramer clip, and Wizard was like, hey, like, maybe if you begged and pleaded and, like, maybe it could change. I'm like, nah, it ain't changing shit, dude. But let's focus on the long term. Right, help them celebrate small wins instead of saying they just need to fix it. I mean, think about this. Someone who's like chronically depressed, them putting effort into doing something is a fucking big deal for them. So I'd be like, yo, dude, that's great. You did that while you're fucking depressed? That's hard as shit, dude. That takes a lot of, like, strength, in my opinion. So in the same way with my clients, when they're facing these supposedly insurmountable problems, and they're like, oh, I need to, like, solve it all in one magical conversation or one big grand gesture, I'm like, that ain't fucking happening, dude. It's gonna take weeks, months, if not years to repair all this serious damage. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So with a marathon, you gotta pace yourself. So pace yourself accordingly. And with them trying to learn how to solve their problems, they're training themselves. So make the training process appropriate and pace themselves. When you go to exercise, you're not gonna be like, hey man, I want to bench 200 pounds, but I can only do like 40. I can only do the bar. So let me go from 40 to like 200 right away. It's like, no, bro, you need to build up that stamina. 40. Maybe at some future point next week, 50. And like, you slowly build up until you can bench press 200. Anything else is just risk for injury. And if you try to bench 200 and you're like, I can't fucking do it after a week, it's like, yes, you are setting yourself up for failure. Because no one can do that. Gym bro proofer? No, I'm not a gym bro. So start small, build that momentum. So is what I would say for them. Whatever level that small might be is entirely up to the individual. But as long as if they start at a reasonable level for them and just make their way towards their things, they'll be great. Even with how they regulate their own emotions. So if it comes to like applying for their jobs, for example, it's like, well, okay, yes, if you've never learned how to make a resume, how to do a cover letter, how to do interviews, that's a lot to learn all at once. So what's this? Let's break it down, the entire long process, which is a lot. Let's find the one thing that you know you can do. And just do that. And just focus only on that in those moments. Never worry. So step 1 out of 100. In that, when you're focusing on step 1, it's only step 1 right now. That's it. Just step 1. Forget about steps 2 through 100. Just step 1. Whatever that first step is. And let's accomplish that. And then when we finish step 1, let's be proud of, hey, we did step 1, despite all the challenges that we faced. And then, when we're ready, let's go to step 2. And on and on and on. That's it. Take it one day at a time. One bite at a time. It's a lot easier living that way. I can't imagine looking for a job in today's market with all the AI competing with AI written resumes and answering AI job interviews. Yeah, that sounds terrible. But yeah, Cram, let me know if that addresses your concerns. I haven't seen any comments from you in a few minutes, so just let me know. All right, great. Yeah, feel free to ask, Cram. You got the floor is yours, and no one else asking me questions, so you got it. Free advice. Cram is bringing the meat and potatoes in the stream. I know. He's putting me to work. Friend found out he has a terminal disease, has months to live. God damn. I think he's 35. Dude, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. He seems to be accepting it better than I would. Okay. So I'll just wait for your question, because I have an idea where this is going, but I'm not sure. Just looking for advice on what could you do? What could you do in regards to what? Okay. How to be a better friend. Okay, so some advice I heard from comedian Jimmy Carr. There was a fan who wrote on his show that his father's dying and he left his family to be with his mistress. And Jimmy said something like, good for him. He knows what he wants in it. It's his life. Let him spend it how he wants it. And you shouldn't judge his decisions even if they're not the best of everyone else. I mean, I slightly disagree with Jimmy Carr there. I'm like, you can absolutely judge the shit out of it. You don't have to like it. Like, I understand why his father would do what he does, but But I I totally judge people. Are you kidding me? I totally judge people's behaviors. I absolutely judge that. I'm like, bro, you left your family to be with your mistress. Like, come on. And like, the family's obviously not going to be okay with it. If you're going to go bitch and moan and complain that you're, oh no, like, this is just what I wanted. I wanted to be with my mistress the whole time. I don't want to be with my family. I'm like, okay, well, that's what you're choosing. So, okay. Actions comes with consequences, bro. Yeah, it's what he wants. It's how he wants to spend it. Sure, it's his right to do so. But, you know, don't be, hey, father who's dying, don't be surprised that your family wants nothing to do with you, really. And that they are keeping you at arm's length now. People can live however they want, but with certain actions come consequences. Whatever you do. So, his choice. I'm here if you want to talk. Feels kind of lame, but I don't know what else I can do for an internet friend. I guess how to be a better friend. I would just say, Cram, ask him. You can just say something like, hey, man, like, I found out, ever since you found out how you have a terminal disease, you only got a few months to live. Like, I want to be the best friend for you possible. What you want? What can I do for you? Like, I think me just saying, hey, I'm here if you want to talk feels kind of lame, because I'm pretty sure maybe that feels lame because here's why I think it's lame. But maybe it's not lame to you. I don't know. I just want to figure out how to be a better friend to you. I would just straight up ask him. And you can also posit some ideas you have. I'm like, yeah, like I was thinking, I can obviously I can actually chat, but like maybe you want to play games or something, or maybe you want to do this. I don't know. You tell me. What do you want? Figure out the stuff with your buddy. That's what I'd say. Oh, great. I'm glad that helps. Just try to keep it simple. He's your friend. Figure out what your friend wants. Friend will tell you. I mean, I imagine he's 35. He's probably thinking like, oh, shit, I don't have much time left, man. I want to live my life the best way possible. Whatever best it is for me. So it could be like, bro, I want to hang out with you and like get fucking wasted. I don't know. I want to live my life in the best possible. Like whatever that is. So yeah, I hope that helps. I'll on the regular ask Cass sometimes, just like point blank, like what she wants, what she's looking for. I'll try to get her approval on certain things. I mean, I'm always open to feedback. So yeah, so just like tell me what's difficult about certain things. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll adapt it here in this way if that helps you. I don't have to make it overcomplicated by like trying to figure, like being a mind reader. I'm like, I'll just ask. I'll of course exercise whatever best judgment I have and try to think about like I think it could be this, but like I don't really know. But maybe I would want it in this situation, but I'm not you, so like you tell me type of deal. And then she'll tell me at some point. Yeah, I just try to make it a process that we deal with together. Makes it so much easier. All right, anything else? Oh man, my hair. I'm aging. I got white hairs, man. It's kind of cool. Am I gonna diet? No. No, no, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. Maybe let's watch the clip I mentioned on stream. What clip? What are you talking about, Wizard? Can you link it in Discord? The memory span of a goldfish. Oh, okay. All right, yeah, yeah. All right, I'll bring this up.
Dad has been told he has 6. What would you do if your dad has been told he has 6 to 12 months left to live and he decides to leave mum? Turns out he's been having an affair for 15 years with another woman and has gone to live with her. Okay, well, where are you? Hi? Hello? What's your name?
Alex.
Alice?
Alex.
Alex. Hi, Alex. It's very nice to have you here. How old are you, Alex? You're 30. Okay, right. Couple of quick things. Firstly, I'm very sorry for your trouble. Losing your dad, it's an incredibly difficult thing to do. There's a guy called Stephen Jenkinson, I think I'm getting that right, who's like talks about grief. He's like written a book about grief. It's really worth having a look at because it's one of those things. People talk about getting over grief or getting through grief because they're idiots. Grief is something that you walk with. And if you lose your father, you'll be walking with that for the rest of your life. Okay? Now, the thing about people that have 6 or 12 months to live is you'll never meet people that are clearer about their priorities because they don't have time to waste, right? So they're very clear on their priorities. He's in love with another woman that's not your mother. That's okay. Accept that. That's not your business. That's his business. He has to follow his heart because he's got one life and he realizes there's very little left and he wants a little slice of happiness. Don't begrudge him that. Help your mother through it, though. She'll need you. It's like, that's your job in all this, is to let him do his thing and, but hold space for your mother because you've got to feel bad for her. She's losing the love of her life twice inside a year. That's fucking brutal for her. But she'll be all right. You're 30. You're a grown woman. She did so much for you. You can be there for her. It's a gift. You'll be all right. Good luck, Alex.
Um, uh, well, there's some good in it, of course, but there's a lot I'm just like, there's a lot of information that's missing because the first thing I'm thinking about is like, okay, what space is the person coming from when they're asking this question? Like, come on, you find out like what real, what is the actual question that they're asking, like underneath the surface? What do you do if your dad has been told he has 6 to 12 months to live and decides to leave mom? I mean, what? Just let him, I guess. I mean, okay, what do? You do nothing. You let him live out how he wants. Okay, don't control him. Okay, great. But is that why this individual is asking that question, for that much of a brain dead answer? Probably not. My guess is this person, Alex, is asking the question because I think they're asking about, like, how do I fucking cope with this for myself? I just found out my dad not only is going to die, but our family is going to break apart because of this. Like, I'm broken. Like, I don't know how to, this is too, like, how do I fucking cope? I don't know. What do I do? How do I deal with this? Wait, my dad has been seeing another woman for the last 15 years? Now he's leaving all of us? And then Jimmy is basically like, well, be there for your mother. And I'm like, okay, but what about the person asking the fucking question? So there was, now, obviously, on one hand, it's possible this advice went brilliantly. Maybe it did. I don't know. But on the other hand, it's also possible he missed the mark fucking completely. So my thinking would be like, okay, I need to understand this mental state this person is coming from to ask a question like this at a comedy show. Like, where is this person coming from? Rather than, like, why don't they talk about this with their therapist or a therapist? I don't know the full context of this, so maybe I'm like missing something here. So, while I think there's good in it, I'm just like, there's such a high possibility to miss the mark. I mean, I would understand if the person who asked the question feels very betrayed by their father's actions. For example, it's possible. So, I don't know whether the advice that Jimmy Carr gave actually landed and hit the spot. Could have. Could also totally fucking missed. And then this individual is just like, well, who gives a fuck about me, about my feelings about this, which is why I asked the question. Yeah, but what's the solution? Tell her to keep hating the father until he dies? No, I did not say that, just to be very clear. No. My issue isn't necessarily with the advice. It's the fact that Jimmy didn't make an attempt to inquire further about this. Like, maybe Jimmy would be like, all right, well, I let my dad do his thing, and that's it, because I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I understand, and I'm not going to hold any ill will towards it. I'm like, okay, good for you. But then it may not be where the person asking the question is. Obviously, the solution wouldn't be, hey, keep hating your father, because that's not going to help the person dealing with it either. And the big picture, like, it's not... I can't tell this individual what to do if I don't know what they really want. Ultimately, it's up to the individual asking the question. I just like, but I don't know. I'm criticizing Jimmy not trying to dig deeper to really understand the root, like where this question is coming from, what place. There's a lot of missing information. And by the way, I'm not going to tell somebody, hey, keep hating your father. I'm just like, I'm going to say, well, we need to resolve these emotions in some way, shape, or form, because I don't want it to eat you up. I want you to be able to find a way forward. But what way forward is like, I can't answer that. I can't give you that on a silver platter, so to speak, unless I really understand beneath what's going on beneath the surface. Like, I would need to know more about this person. I'm like, hey, what are your feelings? Like, how do you personally feel about it? Right? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? Like, obviously, you only got 6 to 12 months to live. This is a big shakeup, to say the least. I mean, there's so many details about the situation that I just like do not know that can significantly change how I would give my advice. Like, for example, what if the like who knows? I don't know. There's just like so many details. You've been like, he's been told he has 6 to 12 months to live. He decides to leave mom. Was the mom nice? Was the mom not nice? Who's this woman he's having an affair with? What are the details? Like, some of these things do matter in me understanding what the most appropriate advice would be. Just like, hey, what's the emotional state of the person asking the question? Where are they at? Are they upset with their father? Like, this, we need to know. Are they okay? Are they just trying to figure out how to navigate things with their mother? Who knows? I don't know. But all of that's very important. To me, this type of advice is very premature. Could it work? Yeah, but I could see a lot of different cases where it would just completely fucking fail. And so, for that reason, I want more information. So that's my opinion about it. Oh yeah, and my personal stance on this is, yeah, the guy can do whatever the fuck he wants. Go ahead. You want to leave, you realized, hey, you want to go be with another woman, I mean, go ahead. But if you do that, just to be very clear, if I'm Alex in this situation, be like, well, given what, and from my understanding of like my own mother, for example, if my dad was to be like, oh, I only have 6 to 12 months to live, and I'm not gonna live with your mom anymore, I'm gonna go live with some other woman, and I've actually been having an affair with her for the last 15 years, I'm gonna be fucking pissed at my dad. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? My mom was like an angel. And I'm like, you've been having an affair on us for 15 years? Are you fucking serious? I'm like, whatever, I'm pissed with you. Like, this is some super shitty, deep betrayal. And this is how you're gonna spend the last moments of your life? Okay, I mean, it's your call, but I don't want to deal with you. Like, I'll be there for you in some capacities, but if you want like a super tight-knit relationship, well, that ain't happening. I'm not giving you that. That is, you know, your actions have consequences. You kept up a lie for 15 years. Time for you to deal with them. Should have admitted it before, I suppose, but whatever. But that's just me. But wouldn't his advice technically apply to every situation, no matter what the emotional state the person is? No. Not at all. Like, here's the thing. Now that I've learned that this dad has had an affair for 15 years that he's been keeping in secret, my ability to trust anything he has said goes down to fucking 0. I'm like, I don't trust you at all. You've had an affair for 15 years. You are full of shit. For 15 years. You, like, I would, oh my gosh, my opinion about this dad goes down the fucking gutter. I'm like, you can do whatever you want. And I'm allowed to feel however I want based on your own actions. If he's trying to help her cope with it and be at peace for when he passes and not hold a grudge. I mean, there's, honestly, I'm like, I'm pretending to be Alex in this situation. If Jimmy's trying to help me cope, I'm like, no, I am going to be pissed at him. I'll let go of the grudge when I feel it's irrelevant. But right now, given my dad only has 6 to 12 months, I'm not at peace with it. I'm pissed. I don't trust my dad. He's been cheating on my mom for 15 years. Oh, now he's had his whole like, oh, I just want to live my life and be honest and free. I'm like, good for you, and you've turned out to be a real piece of work. So, all right, I don't want to deal with you. Because me being involved with you is gonna fuck me over. Sure, I'll be supportive to my mom, but like, I ain't dealing with my dad at all. If my dad will be like, oh, I really want to have a relationship with my son and stuff like that, I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have cheated on my mom for 15 years. If you really wanted to be with another woman, you should have fucking done it ages ago, 15 years ago, instead of just lying over and over and over and over again. I mean, that's a 15-year lie. Like, I would just, and if he's, maybe there's some personal father bias, yeah, sure. But seriously, imagine you were being lied to for 15 years. 15 fucking years in such great detail. Your whole idea of your whole family's been shattered. You're going to reconsider everything. I'm not going to be sympathetic to the dad if he's like, oh no, I lost my kids. I'm like, you had an affair for 15 fucking years. You violated the entire like sanctity of marriage or whatever. Like, could you not leave? Could you not, like, if you loved another woman, you realized, hey, the woman that you're with now is not someone you want to be with. Could you not have left? Is there a reason you couldn't have left? Or what? What's going on? That's me trying to be understanding. But to me, the timing of like, oh, I only have 6 to 12 months. Maybe he was a good dad. Okay, here. Hey, he was a great dad, except he fucking lied for 15 years to my mom and us about doing something that is like kind of earth-shatteringly problematic for the family. Like, you're allowed to leave, go ahead, but I'm your child. I'm going to judge the fuck out of you. And if you're, as a parent, are going to get a butthurt over, oh no, my kids are judging me for something that I did that I don't feel good about, then whatever. No way. I hold parents in much higher standard than their kids. Seriously. No, absolutely not. There's no, I'm not like I'm not sympathetic to the dad based on my impression of this. It might be different if the mother was like super fucking horrible and terrible. I mean, and like she trapped him in some way, shape, or form, or there were like serious consequences to him leaving or something. Or he was like she was like one of my clients, and I'd be like, well, I'm like, but wouldn't you have left sooner, dude? I'm like, come on. And if the dad cannot be understanding about why the kids would be pissed, I'm like, that already just shows me so much about the dad in the first place that he wouldn't even like he just would not get any sympathies from me. He just wouldn't. Just not at all. Not a single bit. Because here's the thing, if the dad had totally understandable and agreeable decisions despite it being all fucked up, the kids would eventually find that out. Whatever anger or resentment would start to vanish. Very, very quickly. It wouldn't even matter. But because I don't have the full scope of information here, I have to just go off on impressions. But this actually reminds me of a story I've heard. Can't give out too many details about where a guy had an entire other second family. He's juggling 2 families at once and keeping it a secret. And then eventually, like, it blew up after like 15 or 20 years or something. And it's like, turns out he had kids with two different women at the same time. And like, he went back and forth. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, obviously the dad can do whatever he wants. And the person who's asking the question has a life, has their own life too, and can feel about it however they want. Must have been a very busy lifestyle, to say the least. Just like so much lying. It's like the lying, the dishonesty, and all that bullshit. I've seen it so many times. I'm very jaded against men, by the way. Very jaded. Because just, I've seen so many personal and professional cases where it's like just so fucked up. Like I was telling you about that former client of mine who was like, well, I wasn't technically having an affair. Like, you were having sex with other women. While you were married. What else do you call that? Well, it wasn't an affair. It wasn't like this, and that. I'm like, we're arguing about technicalities and specifics when we're missing the bigger picture, which is that you betrayed your own marriage vows. And now you're trying to deny it. And then instead of you trying to accept that, yeah, you fucked it up in your marriage, you're trying to like lessen the blow. And then you're like, well, my wife was probably cheating too, or maybe she's sleeping with other guys now. I'm like, oh my God. It's just everything to deflect accountability. And I'm like, no wonder your wife doesn't want to be around you, dude. Like, okay, I guess. It's just like excuse after excuse after excuse. Not that I don't deal with it. I haven't dealt with it from my female clients, but oh man. It's so much easier for me to work with women than it is with men on average. It's just like, dude, men can be so fucking immature and childish. It's like ridiculous. I like learn so much more from women on average than I do from men. Oof. Anyway, that's my own personal tea. So anyway, to wrap this up, sure, Jimmy Carr could have given great advice, but I do not have enough certainty to conclude that myself. And I wish he had tried to inquire where the person who was asking the question, the audience member, was actually coming from. What would the person do from an emotional place for themselves? What would it do in regards practically? Like, okay, support mom, okay. Like, okay, let dad do what he wants. Be supportive to dad or mom. Okay, great. But I'm guessing that's obvious to the person. And if it's not, they'll figure it out anyway. But then it's like, how do they cope themselves? And what do they do with whatever feelings they have? I'm like, that didn't really get addressed. Sounds like a cool guy. Hey, Tricky. So yeah. But yeah, I totally judged the whole 15-year affair thing. Totally. All right, so other questions? Anything you guys want help with? Dang, it's already 5:18. Bro, it's already been 2.5 hours. Yo. Well, I'll give you guys a few minutes if you guys want any other stuff. Otherwise, since there isn't that much activity today, I'll probably just call it. Call it and go play Path of Exile 2 with Cass. Which will be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Did I catch up in level with her? Yeah, I did. I did this time I streamed. We're both at the same level. We're both like now in Act 3. With our skeletal sniper witches just like blowing things up. It's kind of fun, but we're adapting to the game too. Alright, well, I'll give people like 2-3 minutes. If you guys wanna, let's see, how many people are even watching today? 6 on Twitch, 4 on YouTube apparently. So for all 10 people, if you guys want some free help, or if you want to chat about a topic, you got like 1 or 2 minutes basically to ask me a question, otherwise I'm just gonna dip. And while that's all happening, I would not be surprised. By the way, I would not be remotely surprised if after this dad decides to go live with this person for whatever, that their dynamic dramatically changes. It would not surprise me at fucking all that this dad, like, who lives with this person now that who they were formerly just having an affair with, all of a sudden it's just like, oh, actually the grass was green on this side. It's something I've heard so often. It's like, oh no, I have deep regrets. It was like, come on, having an affair for 15 years, that's like such a double life. Like, no commitment either way. I'm like, either be with your mom or be with like the other woman. Like, being in between both for 15 years. This guy could have left but didn't. Dude, 15 years, bro. With my clients where like their partners are having an affair and what happens is that level of lack of commitment is so short. And it's like semantics at that point. This is an affair for 15 years. Like, unfucking believable, the amount of time. I have a very hard time believing that this dad couldn't have just called it quits any time during those 15 years. But yes, I'm being very judgmental because my speculation about this is that he's just too chicken shit to just own up to the, like, he's like, oh, now I know what I really want. I want to be with this woman I had an affair with. And I'm like, get fucking serious. Sounds like God interfered. Yeah. Like 15 years? What are your reasons? What are the reasons? Again, I don't have the full context, so all I can do is just like spit, like just like, shh, he was staying for the kids. This is so shit. This is a shit. Like, I've heard that excuse. Oh, I'm gonna stay in this unhappy marriage for the kids. I'm like, what are your kids inheriting? An unhappy marriage, misery, and they're gonna learn a bunch of shit. It's just self-serving bullshit. Dude, 15 years. For my clients, again, when their partner's having an affair, it's like, I think I've heard of like a year or two, but then it's like, they're gonna leave the marriage anyway. Like, a year or two already to me is a long time, but realistically, it's like, they start dating like a year, like sometime soon. It's a very different like form of having an affair. This is 15 years, dude. It's like, make up your fucking mind. I have like right now, unless there's some really strong, compelling evidence, and I don't even know what that would be, but to have an affair for 15 years, it's just like, bro, are you kidding me? 15 years. Staying for the kids. He could have divorced his wife and whatever, lived with this other woman, and then co-parented with his ex-wife, and the kids would have had a better time. But anyway, I'm obviously heated with this question. I don't know the space of the person asking this, and I say that because it really depends. They are asking, what would you do? So did Jimmy Carr answer what he would do? Yeah, I guess he did. Didn't mean to trigger me? Oh my gosh. It's all right. I'm used to it, dude. So did technically Jimmy Carr answer the question? Yes, in terms of what he would do and how he would deal with it, perhaps. Is that what the person asking the question wanted? Maybe. Or maybe it was like, hey, like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? How do I deal with this? Like, it could be like an external facing question, but really there's an internal question underneath. I don't know. And I wish Jimmy had just asked that to try to understand. It's like, hey, how are you feeling with this? How are you dealing with this? Are you asking me what I would personally do? Like, where are you coming from? Like, really try to understand that before answering the question, and like, it would have done stuff like rather dramatically. It would have changed my how I receive this, my reception of this dramatically. I'm just generally not comfortable giving out an answer or like a solution until I make sure I really understand what the hell's going on. Because otherwise it's like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, all right, bro, just let your dad do his thing and be there for your mom. I know it's tough for you, but just, you're going to have to deal with it. Congrats. But that's, I think anyone could say that, should be told. It's not particularly groundbreaking. It's like, okay, well, just don't be a control freak. Let people live how they want. Great. Be supportive to your family as best as you can. Okay, great. But I have like, there's no like creative nuance answer I could give for the specific solution. But then again, Jimmy Carr's a comedian. That's like, while I'm giving criticism of what he's saying, I'm like, well, he's a comedian. What do you expect? This isn't, he's not like a therapist. He's not like a counselor. He's not like a relationship coach. It's not like his thing. And the same way, if I was to try to deliver jokes, I would generally suck. So I wouldn't know the ins and outs of how to communicate effective comedy, like at all, really. And certainly not professionally like he does. He's good at what he does, which is why he has an audience. So, oh well. All right, well, it doesn't look like there are any other questions for today, so I think I'll probably just call it early. So I'm surprised this went on for 2.5 hours with overall relatively low activity today. But thank you all so much for watching. For those of you that were here, for at least keeping things spicy. Wizard got under my skin somewhat. But it was all on the good spicy drama fun. And Cram, oh come on. Killing it. No, I don't want that P word. That hurts. That hurts, man. You've committed a crime that's worse than anything Wizard has done so far, okay? Well, debatable. The gawky stuff, the gawky thing, like, okay, both of you are on the, you're emotionally banned, okay? Now Wizard is emotionally and spiritually banned. All right, well, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Cram, I hope I helped you and gave you some stuff you can work with. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care and bye.